Hey guys, just a bit of a disclaimer before we jump into this battle report. It turns out, surprise, surprise, I'm still an idiot. As of uploading this battle report, I have found a total of 9, probably 10 different instances of me making mistakes or noobish little minor errors that really shouldn't be there. And as most of you probably are going to find out soon enough, I have a very horrible, horrible way of completely and utterly butchering the way you're supposed to pronounce a certain mech's name. But whatever, I made my bed, I gotta sleep in it. Anyways, this is just a warning in advance. If like noobish mistakes or amateur hour kind of annoys you or puts you off a video, you may want to step back now. If, however, you do want to listen to my battle report or can put up with me, thank you, I guess. I hope, despite all that, you really do enjoy the battle report. I did put some work into it this time around. And all I can say is I'll try to keep getting better and better. Anyways, enough wasting your time. You came here to watch a battle report, or not watch one now. I hope you all have a great one. I will catch you all this weekend with Dropship Banter. Frozen Front out. Peace out. Enjoy your day. Hey there, everyone. Frozen Front here, and welcome to Battletech Battle Reports Episode 2, the long-delayed sequel. As I quickly set up the board, let's do a quick rundown on the two lances that I'll be fighting today, as well as the scenario and terrain they'll be fighting on. Starting off with the lances, the first squad stepping onto the field is the Lyran Commonwealth. Relying on their trademark of heavy battle mechs and massive firepower, this Lyran Guard lance is going to be sporting the quick and wily commando as a scout, as well as the well-balanced and well-armed bushwhacker serving as the striker. These two will likely be playing support to the lance's main complement of the heavy-duty Zeus, and of course, the Commonwealth's mascot in a whole, the Atlas, as they step around the battlefield with the sole objective of raining suppressive fire and hell on their opponents, which in essence is the strategy for the Commonwealth in this particular fight. They're going to do a simple search and destroy and obliterate whatever or whoever opposes them on the battlefield. As for those said opponents, in this matchup, the Lyrans will be facing the well-trained and well-seasoned fighters of the Free Worlds League. While they don't carry the same amount of armament or have the same tonnage as their opponents, the Free World Leaguers do have the advantage in speed and movement, coming to the battlefield with the fast and high-jumping Spider and Cicada, who can literally fly and run circles around their enemies while picking them off piece by piece. The lance also contains the legendary Marauder, the beast of the Inner Sphere, and the one and only Awesome. Going into this battle, the Free Worlds League will look to divide and conquer, completely picking off pieces of the Lyran lance one by one, while eventually whittling them down to nothing. Regarding the location for this battle, the two lances find themselves duking it out on mountainous terrain, and the map that we will be using will include hill and mountainsides, scattered trees and forests, and a few buildings here and there for good measure. And as always, we will be referring to the Battletech Total Warfare Core Book, relying on black, red, and white dice to track movement, and using record sheets to follow the damage taken through each round. As for the scenario itself, this battle report will be taking place during the clan invasion era, and will be a good old-fashioned stand-up fight. Lasting a total of 12 rounds, both the Lyran Commonwealth and Free Worlds League lances will have their battle values set between 5300 and 5400. The sole objective for this scenario will be to seek out and destroy as much of the opponent's lance as possible within the 12 rounds. Whoever does the most damage, or completely and utterly destroys the enemy mech lance first, wins the scenario. Phew, so with all of that out of the way, let's get this battle report going. So, starting off with deployment phase, Commonwealth are rolling first. They roll a 4. Then with the Free Worlds League rolling off, they roll a 7. So Free Worlds League is going to be moving second, Commonwealth moves first. So, starting right off, the Atlas is going to just walk onto the field on a movement of 3. So, 1, 2, 3. Followed by the Bushwhacker, who is going to be following him up on a movement of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll have the Zeus moving in tight formation as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. And then finally, we're going to have the commando move up also right onto the ledge of the hilltop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, running onto the hilltop. While the Commonwealth holds onto a tight formation, the Free Worlds League is going to be a little bit more loose. Starting off with the Marauder, he's going to just be walking his way right into the woodlands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. Meanwhile, we're going to have our Spider Boy over here just jump right onto the ledge right here for a little bird's eye view. Meanwhile, we're going to have old Evil Eye as well do a jump right over here. And then lastly, we're going to have the awesome follow. No, we're going to have the awesome do a little bit of a run right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ending off right there. So, rolling off for turn 1 pre-deployment phase, we start off with the Commonwealth. Commonwealth rolls a 6. Then for Free Worlds League, Free Worlds League also rolls a 6, so re-roll quickly. 11 for the Commonwealth. And 12 for the Free Worlds League. So Commonwealth will be moving first. So, starting off movement phase, the Commando is going to be running his way down the hillside and getting to a better position, so there. Meanwhile, the Marauder is going to continue its movement and run for 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ending off right on the ledge. Next up, we're gonna have the Bushwhackers, move up on a speed of 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right there. Next up for the Free Worlds League, we're going to have the Awesome just make a run on 5 and get into another better position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Staying close to the Marauder and the rest of the crew. Likewise, the Zeus is just going to be moving forward as well to support the Bushwhacker. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just staying close alongside to help provide support. Meanwhile, Evil Eye over here is just going to be jumping right here and positioning himself like so, right next to the Marauder. Then moving last for the Commonwealth is going to be the Atlas, who is just going to chug along on a movement of 5 in the open. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully just trying to catch up with the rest of his crew. Last but not least, the Spider is just going to be making a jump all the way over here and right there. And with both sides now just slowly getting into position to begin engagement, that ends turn 1. Alright, pre-deployment phase for turn 2, starting off with the Commonwealth. Commonwealth rolls a 6. Rolling off for the Free Worlds League. Free Worlds League starts with a 4, so Free Worlds League will be moving first. So, starting off right with the Spider. The Spider is going to be running on 12 up into the mountain cliffs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And actually, he's going to just stay on a 10. The Commando is going to also be moving his way up, and they're also going to be climbing the ledge, or the ridge of the hilltop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and ending off right there. Climbing the hilltop and spotting the first of the Free Worlds League scouts, and beginning what is hopefully to begin the first engagement of the battle. Meanwhile, the Marauder is also going to be making his way towards the center of the field, so he's also going to be running again on a 6. So 1, 2, climbing over the ledge quickly. 3, 4, 5, 6, and ending off right there to hopefully give some support to the spider if he needs it. Meanwhile, the Bushwhacker, Jesus, is going to be running up the hill after getting a call from his friend the commando that there are enemies in the area. So he's going to turn for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and he's going to perch himself right up there. The Awesome for the Free Worlds League is also going to be making his way onto the hilltops. So on a run, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, he's just going to stay there because he can't make it just yet. The Atlas will also be making a movement of 5, running through the woods to end off right there, to just slowly tug away and hopefully keep in contact with the rest of his lance. Evil Eye and the Cicada will be moving last for the Free Worlds League, moving up on an 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ending right there on a walk. And hopefully being able to give some cover support. Last but not least, we'll have the Zeus again doing a quick little run to help hopefully catch up with his friend the Bushwhacker. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ending up right there to hopefully next turn provide some support when engagement fully begins. Speaking of combat, the Spider and the Commando open up engagement with both firing 1 medium laser at the Commando and 1 large laser back at the Spider. The Spider's medium laser bounces off and hits the side of the ridge. However, the Commando is able to land 1 hit with its large laser right into the right leg of the Spider for 8 points of damage and bleeds into internal armor, however, does not get a crit off. Meanwhile, the Bushwhacker opens up with all of its LRMs into the Marauder. That is now in the open and is able to do a total of 5 damage to the left leg of the Marauder. In retaliation, the Marauder tilts its autocannon and fires right into the Bushwhacker, doing 5 damage into the right torso of the Bushwhacker. Lastly, Cicada, or Evil Eye, does try to get 1 shot off with its ER large laser at the Bushwhacker. However, the shot completely misses and just hits into the side of the mountain range. And with both sides now having fully engaged one another, thus ends turn 2. Starting pre-deployment phase for turn 3, we're going to change it up and start with the Free Worlds League rolling first. They roll a 5. Meanwhile, the Commonwealth rolls next, and they roll a 10. So Free Worlds League, again, makes a move first this turn. The Awesome starts off this round of movement by moving again on a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. And positioning himself to provide support. Meanwhile, the Atlas as well will be trying to chug his way into the skirmish by moving again on a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Climbing up the hill next to the Zeus. Meanwhile, Evil Eye the Cicada will just be holding position right where he is on top of the ledge to provide cover support and prevent any of the Commonwealth from getting any more of an advantage in terms of height. The Bushwhacker pilot, in retaliation, however, is just going to make his way up to the higher ledge of the ridge. So on a 1, 2, 3, 4, ending off right there to help provide more cover support to anyone else who needs it. Meanwhile, the Marauder is going to be moving on a 6 heading over to the woods for cover. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And using the woods as protective cover. The Zeus is just going to be moving on a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, ending off right there in this small gully area. Right there. Hopefully being able to provide some cover next turn. Then the spider is going to be making a walk on 8 to get out of range and shots this turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hopefully buy some time for him to recover and get into a better position to open up next round. Finally, the commando as well is going to pull back a little bit under the cover of the bushwhacker, not wanting to just get hit by the awesome and the marauder now. So he's going to move on a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And position himself to hopefully help take a shot at old Evil Eye. Starting off combat for turn 3, both the Jicata and the Commando go open ham on each other with their large lasers. Both hit one another, with the Commando's large laser hitting the Jicata for 8 points of damage right into its right torso. Meanwhile, the Jicata Evil Eye is able to just blow the Commando's arm clear off, with 8 points of damage going right into the left arm of the Commando. And the Commando is now left with only its right arm to use in combat. Meanwhile, as that engagement continues on, the Bushwhacker and the Marauder take turns firing into each other. The Bushwhacker opens up with its LRM-5 and its autocannon, however, both miss the Marauder, which is in the forest. In retaliation, the Marauder opens up again with its large laser and autocannon. The large laser misses, but the autocannon does hit for 5 damage directly into the Bushwhacker's center torso. Lastly, the Awesome decides to provide covering fire as well to the Marauder by firing 1 PPC directly at the Bushwhacker. However, it falls short and hits directly into the mountainside. Starting turn 4, rolling for Free Worlds League. Free Worlds League rolls a 7. Rolling for Commonwealth. Commonwealth rolls a 7 as well. Reroll. Free Worlds League rolls a 4. Commonwealth rolls a 9. So Free Worlds League will move first. First with the Jicata, aka Evil Eye. He's going to be walking 8 and repositioning, so he's not going to be taking any more hits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Positioning himself over there to recover. Meanwhile, the Bushwhacker as well is also going to be repositioning himself to avoid further attacks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Positioning himself right there in order to avoid getting hit anymore and hopefully getting some time to recover. The spider is going to be moving on 12, running to hopefully get into a better position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Putting himself there, hopefully to sneak about and get a better shot off next round. The Zeus is going to move on a 6, running, so up the ledge again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hoping this time to finally get some action and to finally start raining some hell on the Free Worlds League. Meanwhile, the Marauder is just going to reposition himself a little bit farther away from the Zeus. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just give himself some distance. However, probably that wasn't the greatest idea, because that now puts him in range of the Atlas, who is now finally able to join the battlefield and begin raining some hell on the Free Worlds League. And start showing them why freaking the Lyran Commonwealth uses a fist for their logo. Last but not least, the Awesome is just going to reposition himself right there to hopefully get some better shots off on the newly opened up Zeus that's made his way onto the battlefield. Almost forgot about the little commando, but he's going to also be the one to end off the movement phase. He's just going to make a quick little run, or a walk I should say, safely away from any harm this round. For turn 4 combat phase, the Atlas and the Marauder open up on each other at point blank range. The Atlas fires its auto 20, its medium laser, and an LRM 20. It misses with the auto cannon and the medium laser, but is able to land on the LRM 20, doing 5 damage to the center torso, 3 damage to the left torso, 2 damage to the right leg, and another 2 damage to the left torso of the Marauder. In retaliation, the Marauder pilot opens up with its large lasers, both of them, into the Atlas. However, both of them miss and hit right into the side of the hill. At the exact same time as that, the Zeus and the Awesome are also duking it out. The Zeus fires its medium lasers and its ER large laser. It is able to get a hit off with its ER large laser right into the Awesome, doing 8 damage into the left arm. In retaliation, the Awesome opens up with 2 of its PPCs, landing 10 damage right into the right arm of the Zeus. The Bushwhacker also tries to turn and provide some more cover support to the Atlas as well and to the Marauder, but due to all the forested areas in its way, all its LRM-5s just miss and go all over the place. At the same time as that, the Cicada, aka Evil Eye, is opening up with its medium lasers into the Zeus, hoping to provide cover to the Awesome. However, both shots just fire into the mountain and do nothing. And as both the Spider and the Commando are moving around and trying to avoid attacks or trying to reposition, this brings an end to the turn 4 combat phase. The Free Worlds League rolls. Free Worlds League rolls an 8. Commonwealth rolls next. Commonwealth rolls a 3. So the Commonwealth will be going first this time around. Starting first with the Atlas will be moving just 2 steps down off the ledge to get into a better open field of combat. And hopefully now completely open up on all the Free Worlds Leaguers that are out there. Meanwhile, the Marauder is just going to back up 4 paces so it's not within horrible murder radius of the Atlas. So just walking back slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. And hopefully giving it some better range and leeway to get out of just being obliterated by freaking overwhelming firepower. In response to that, the Bushwhacker is going to give chase, running on an 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's staying right over there in order to provide, or hopefully get on top of the ridge to provide cover and hunt down that Marauder that's been giving it so much trouble. Meanwhile, Evil Eye the Cicada is going to use this chance to literally run right past both the Atlas and Zeus and get right behind them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And end up right there. And seeing his friends in trouble, the commando is also going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there, in position to provide cover support for the Zeus and Atlas, and fire into freaking old Evil Eye, who's just been causing all sorts of heck. And hopefully, maybe even getting the commando kill, even though he only has one arm right now. Now, seeing his comrades all getting up into close combat, the Awesome has decided to join the party and go in on a 5 running. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully, to get nice and personal with the Zeus and show him what Free Leaguers can do in close combat. However, while the Zeus pilot would just love to get into a good old game of fisticuffs, decides he's gonna move a little bit back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. Lastly, the Spider decides he's going to have his return and fun by opening up on the commando, by climbing up the hilltop and getting on the high ridge to fire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now in view and in range of his old friend, the commando, who decided to take some pot shots at his legs, and the Spider is now in for revenge. Starting turn 5 combat phase, the commando opens up on both the Jacata and the Spider, missing on the Jacata, but landing a hit with its large laser onto the Spider, doing 8 damage into the left arm. In retaliation, the Spider opens up with its medium lasers, but is only able to get a 5 damage hit onto the right torso of the commando. The Zeus then enters the conflict, firing its 2 medium lasers and its large ER laser, missing on its large ER laser, but able to get 1 hit with its medium laser, doing 5 points of damage to the right leg of the Jacata. The Jacata at the same time opens up with its medium laser and its ER large laser, missing with the medium laser, but able to get 8 points of damage into the right arm of the Zeus with its ER large laser. Simultaneously, as those fights are going on, the Atlas and the Marauder are just going ham on each other, firing everything they've got. The Atlas fires its autocannon, its 2 medium lasers, and its LRM, and is able to do 25 damage with both its autocannon and one of its medium lasers. The Marauder at the same time opens up with its 2 large lasers and its autocannon, doing 16 damage to the right torso and 5 damage to the head of the Atlas. The Atlas pilot, however, is also able to take the impact and pass the piloting roll. Putting a nice little bow on things to end the conflict, the Awesome is able to get a shot off with its small laser into the center torso of the Zeus, as it's still too close to fire its PPCs. Alright, turn 6, rolling for pre-deployment, rolling first for the Free Worlds League. Free Worlds League rolls a 5, rolling for Commonwealth. Lyran Commonwealth rolls a 9, so the Free Worlds League will be moving first this turn. Starting off first will be the Marauder. The Marauder will be running at a 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and take to the ledge. Next up will be the Bushwhacker, who will be walking on a 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, he's just going to move on a 5 and position himself right over top to start taking shots at that Marauder. Meanwhile, Evil Eye the Jacata is going to be taking a jump and jump 4 paces, 1, 2, 3, 4, right over here, right behind the Atlas, and get right behind him. Likewise, the Atlas is now going to take its turn and just move 3, so 1, 2, 3, just the face off against Evil Eye. Next up, we have the Awesome, who's going to be moving for 5, running, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. putting him in position to start raining fire on everybody on this hilltop. And not liking that idea of facing an awesome, the commando is going to just book it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, right there. And get some distance between him and the awesome. Meanwhile, the spider is going to be moving up close and personal on a walk of 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And is going to just be trying to rain some more hell on that commando, who is just going to be sadly taking it. Then to end off the movement phase, we're going to have the Zeus, who's going to move, 1, 2. Just going to move 2 and get into melee with the awesome. Starting off the turn 6 combat phase, the Marauder opens up into the Zeus with its autocannon and 2 large lasers. Its autocannon misses, but is able to get 2 hits with the large lasers, doing 8 damage to the center torso and 8 damage to the right arm. The right arm gets a crit as the damage goes into the internal armor, and the crit goes right into the ammo stash of the Zeus and just goes off. And frickin' the Zeus just gets gets blasted in turn 6. What the frick? The Atlas, hearing that his friend just went down, is now just not having any of this shit anymore. It just opens up into the Cicada, aka Evil Eye, with his autocannon 20 and 4 medium lasers. The autocannon hits the right leg of the Cicada, nearly blowing it off, and 2 of the other medium lasers also hit in the left torso and center torso. This causes Evil Eye to just fall and take another 4 damage into the center torso. While the pilot is able to stay conscious, I don't think Evil Eye is going to be fighting this round. Now, as the big mechs just keep slugging into each other and start popping each other down, the Spider and Commando both take turns pot-shotting each other with their medium lasers and SRMs. However, both seem to not be able to hit each other at all. Like, literally, at point-blank range, both these guys are just missing. So, yeah. The Awesome, just utterly ashamed at the aim of the Spider, decides to show him how it's done, and opens up into the Commando with 2 PPCs. One misses, but another one is able to just completely smash into the right torso of the Commando, taking out 2 heat sinks. However, it does not crit. To finish off the combat phase, the Bushwhacker, now in position, opens up into the Marauder with its autocannon 10 and its 3 LRMs. The autocannon misses along with 1 LRM, but 2 are able to hit, and the clusters of missiles are able to do 3 damage to the right torso of the Marauder and 3 damage into the center torso of the Marauder. And with that final shot off from the Bushwhacker, brings an end to turn 6, with mechs now just completely down and out all over the place. Rolling for turn 7 initiation phase, rolling first for the Lyran Commonwealth. Lyran Commonwealth gets an 8. Next for the Free Worlds League, rolling for Free Worlds League. Free Worlds League gets a 12, so the Lyran Commonwealth will be moving first. Beginning first with the Commando, though he is suffering from some heat damage, he is going to be running now only on an 8. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and get in position to be covered by the Atlas. Next is Evil Eye the Cicada, who is able to successfully stand again, giving up 2 movement points for that, but still at running now has 10, so he is not going to sit there and take it from the Atlas and is just going to get the heck out of dodge. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually,
9, 10. He is actually going to end up right there. And maybe getting some shots off on the commando this time around. I mean, it would help. He's actually fighting someone his own size. Next up, we have the Marauder, who is, he's going to move 4 and try to get into position with the rest of his Lance teammates. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and then position himself right here, just so that he still has some firing, because he knows that Bushwhacker is still right over there looking to get some pot shots, but at least now he can turn and get some off as well. Meanwhile, the Bushwhacker is going to reposition and move on a 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there, and keep harassing that Marauder now that he's also out of the way and can fire right into the rear, hopefully providing more support for his remaining lance mates. Following that, the Awesome is going to be moving on a 3. 1, 2, 3, right in position against the Atlas, and hoping to provide some more cover for his lance mates. However, that Atlas pilot is still pissed off that the Cicada got away, so he's gonna actually just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 get right in position to rain some more bloody hell on that Cicada pilot. And Evil Eye is not looking so great right now. Finally, the Spider pilot is just going to move 3 steps and just be a sneaky 1, 2, actually 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's actually going to move 6 steps and just take some pot shots at the rear of the Atlas, knowing full well that if the Atlas turns around, he's just going to book it. And quite honestly, I don't have a lot of hope for this Spider pilot. This guy hasn't been hitting worth a damn. Starting off the combat phase for turn 7, Cicada fires into the Commando with both medium lasers, but misses both, leaving the Commando free for another round. The Bushwhacker then opens up onto the Marauder with its LRMs and its autocannon. All 3 of its LRM-5s miss, but the autocannon does land 10 damage to the head, though no crit goes off. In response, the Marauder opens up with its 2 large lasers and autocannon 5 into the Bushwhacker. However, all its shots just miss and steer clear into the mountain range. Following that trade-off, the Atlas then tries to finish off the Cicada with its autocannon 20 and 3 of its medium lasers. However, everything misses except for 1 medium laser that is able to do 5 damage into the left arm, leaving the Cicada to get away for another turn, and the Atlas just to be super pissed that he just can't kill this bug. At the same time as that, the Awesome, seeing the Marauder in trouble, decides to open up with its guns into the Bushwhacker, firing 2 of its PPCs. However, both PPCs also just hit into the side of the mountain and do nothing to the Bushwhacker. And then, last but not least, the tiny Spider actually is able to get a shot off right into the center torso into the Atlas. However, he somehow misses his other medium laser, and that just goes careening off into the middle of nowhere. Right, turn 8, rolling first for the Lyran Commonwealth. Lyran Commonwealth rolls an 8. Rolling next for the Free Worlds League. Oop. Rolling again for the Free Worlds League. Free Worlds League rolls a 7. So Free Worlds League will be moving first. Beginning first with the Awesome will move to help engage the Bushwhacker and take some alleviation off for the Marauder. So moving on a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And begin moving his way to provide assistance and cover. Meanwhile, the commando is going to be making a run on an 8 into the woods and onto the ledge close to him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remove that. 6, 7, 8. Except the Marauder will also be taking advantage of the woodland areas by just hopping in there. 1, 2, 3. Just moving on a 3, walking to get cover and hopefully provide some support to the Awesome as well. With that in mind, the Bushwhacker is going to be moving on an 8 running. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and try to work himself into a better position to fire at the Awesome now and avoid getting shot at by the Marauder who's in cover. And while that is happening, Evil Eye is going to just get the heck out of Dodge and make a roundabout. He's going to go running on a 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And just get into cover on the ridge with the Awesome standing right beside him, below, hopefully taking his shots. To that response, the Awesome is going to run on a 5 and try to pursue Evil Eye and get that kill finally. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Standing right there and facing the spider at the same time. And finally, the spider is going to bring an end to movement by jumping on an 8 and getting the heck out of Dodge. Which, I don't blame him. He's going to get blasted by that freaking Atlas if he stays there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just jumping right there. And hopefully out of the way of any fire. But he'll most likely be sitting out this round. With the beginning of turn 8 combat phase, the Awesome starts off by firing into the Bushwhacker with 2 PPC cannons. Both, however, miss and just go straight into the mountain range. The Bushwhacker, in retaliation, opens up into the Awesome as well, firing its autocannon 10 and all 3 of its LRM-5s. The autocannon hits into the left torso of the Awesome for 10 damage, but only one of the LRMs are able to successfully hit the Awesome as well, doing 4 damage into the left arm. While the Awesome and the Bushwhacker exchange blows, the Marauder, from its advantage point in the woods, tries to open up into the Commando. However, due to the terrain, its large lasers and its autocannons all miss, hitting either into the forest or into the hillsides. And to further complement all the missing that is occurring right now, the Atlas tries to open him into the Awesome with its autocannon 20 and its SRM-6 and 1 medium laser. However, it also misses every single shot being fired upon, just surprising the Awesome pilot by all the explosions that are going on behind it. Concluding this turkey shoot of a round off, Evil Eye tries to fire into the Bushwhacker with its ER large laser. However, that as well just misses completely and fires into the sky. And with that final shot, brings an end to round 8. Round 8 concludes with the Bushwhacker being the only one to successfully get any shot off, with all other pilots just either missing or just firing into the hillside and environment. Alright, turn 9 with 4 rounds to go. Starting off first with the Lyran Commonwealth. Lyran Commonwealth roll an 8. Then starting off with the Free Worlds League. Free Worlds League rolls a 7. So Free Worlds League will be moving first. Starting off this movement phase, Evil Eye the Cicada is going to be flying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right there to get out of the way of that Atlas and help provide some more cover from higher ground. Next up, we have the Atlas, who's going to move into a better position this round. So on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running, and positioning himself right onto the field advantage, and just so he can shoot and murder everything, or at least try to this time and not just miss. The Awesome, in return, is going to give himself some space on a movement of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And trade some blows with the Atlas, since, quite frankly, he's the only one who can, and right at this moment, the pilot of the Awesome is thinking the Atlas can't shoot for shit. Seeing that the Awesome is no longer in his way, the Commando is going to try and just sneak past and provide support for the Atlas by shooting it behind. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, ending over there. So, and with that, the Spider is going to take advantage and hopefully get close enough to bring some pain to the Commando. So it's going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 right there. Right up close and personal with the Commando dead in his sights. The Bushwhacker, seeing his compatriot in danger, decides he's going to take a chance and move on a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Walking. And cover his Commando buddy. And in return for seeing the Bushwhacker move, the Marauder is also going to run and try to protect his lance mate. How's he going to do this? He's going to run on 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to stand right there. As combat begins this round, the Spider opens up into the Commando with both of its medium lasers, landing one laser into the right leg of the Commando. The Commando, in retaliation, pivots itself and fires its large laser and SRM-6. However, both miss at point-blank range and just fire into the hillside. As the Commando and Spider are slugging it out, the Bushwhacker and the Marauder from a little bit behind both open up with their weapons and fire everything they have to support their compatriots. The Marauder opens up into the Commando with its autocannon and its 2 medium lasers, but only one of the medium lasers is able to get a hit on the center torso. Meanwhile, the Bushwhacker takes 16 damage from the Marauder, 8 to the right head and 8 to the head and 8 to the right arm. The Bushwhacker, in retaliation, opens up on the Spider with everything it has: its 2 medium machine guns, its pulse lasers, and its autocannon. However, every single shot just misses and doesn't hit anything at all other than air. Complementing that, the Awesome decides to open up on the Atlas with all 3 of its PPCs, though only one PPC is able to actually hit directly into the right torso of the Atlas. The other 2 go right into the hillside, blasting rubble all over the place. The Atlas, thoroughly not amused by this, decides to show the Awesome what it means to deal with the Lyran Commonwealth, and opens up with its autocannon and all 4 of its medium lasers, doing 25 damage all into the left torso of the Awesome. The Awesome, however, is able to keep standing. As all the firing of shots settles down, the Spider, in one final bid to try and take down the Commando, charges in with both fists and lands 2 hits, 1 into the right arm and 1 into the center torso for 3 damage each into the Commando. However, by the end, the Commando is still standing.
That final bombardment of fists by the spider into the commando brings an end to turn 9. With all mechs nearly on both sides emptying out whatever they have into each other. Except for old Evil Eye over there, who's just sitting by in absolute awe at what's going on. Okay, rolling off for turn 10. Rolling first for Free Worlds League. Free Worlds League rolls an 8. Rolling for Lyran Commonwealth. Lyran Commonwealth rolls a 5. So Lyran's will be moving first this turn. Starting movement off for this round, we have the Atlas, who's going to be just moving 3, walking 1, 2, 3, moving himself right into the center of combat to start raining bloody hell on everyone. Hopefully. Next up, we have the Awesome, who is not going to want to be anywhere near those fists. Is just going to be moving slowly on a 2, backwards, walking. So 1, 2, right into that corner. Just close enough to rain down some shots, but not enough to actually do anything. Or not enough to actually get hit with metal glove fists. Next up for movement, we have the Awesome, who, not wanting to get punched with a giant iron fist, is just kind of slowly back up 2, 1, 2, right there, walking. And just stay right there. Also, he's still trying to recover some heat mitigation, so if he moves any more, he's going to be taking some movement. Next up, we have the Awesome, who's going to be moving the heck back because he wants nothing to do with those iron fists. He is just going to walk back on a 2, straight back, giving himself a little bit of arm space to keep firing and fighting the Atlas. Now, next up, we have the Commando, who is now suffering from heat and is going to be limited in his movement, so he's only going to be able to walk on a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's just going to position himself a little bit better and hopefully give some cover to the Bushwhacker and let him do most of the fighting this round. Seeing the Commando try and escape, the Spider's going to make a run on 12 and get to some better positioning to continue firing on him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12, right there. The Spider, seeing that the Commando is trying to make a break for it, is going to try and run on a 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right there. It's going to run on a 12 and just get into a better position to keep harassing. And hopefully maybe even get a kill. The Bushwhacker, however, is not going to have any of that and is going to run on an 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right there. And get into close range combat with the Spider and pay him back with some punches of his own this time. And hopefully provide some better cover than he did last time for his Commando buddy. The Marauder, now also suffering from heat, is going to be limited in his movement, but he is going to be able to move at least 3.
1, 2, 3, and position himself right over top to continue providing support to the spider and firing on both the bushwhacker and the commando. Though he might this turn just fire on the commando. And then to conclude movement, we're going to just have old Evil Eye here, the Jicata, move jumping on a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there, right behind the Atlas, to provide some help to the Awesome, and hopefully maybe even get a few good shots in this turnaround, now that heat isn't a bother for him. Beginning the turn 10 combat phase, the Bushwhacker opens up into the Spider with its autocannon 10, its 2 medium pulse lasers, and its machine guns. The machine guns miss along with a medium pulse laser, but one of the pulse lasers does hit for 5 damage, along with the auto 10 cannon, hitting 10 damage into the right torso of the Spider. The Spider, taking damage to its right torso and having some of its jet engines blown off, returns fire right into the Bushwhacker, firing both of its medium lasers. However, both medium lasers miss and go completely off sides. As the Bushwhacker and the Spider trade blows, the Atlas opens up right into the Awesome, firing its autocannon 20, 4 medium lasers into the Awesome, doing 10 damage into the left torso, 5 damage into the right arm, and 5 damage into the right leg. It also does 20 damage from the autocannon right into the center torso, completely taking out the Awesome, which falls and takes 8 damage to the head. Its lower torso, or its left torso, is also completely blown off. In a continuation of fire, the Atlas also fires into the Marauder with its rear open, doing 4 damage with its SRM-6 into the right leg and 1 damage from another SRM into the right arm. The Marauder, thoroughly pissed off that it's taking shots from its side, decides to just take its anger out on the poor commando and fires its Auto 5, 2 medium lasers, and a large laser. Its large laser misses, but both medium lasers and the Auto 5 hit, doing 15 damage, to which 10 damage goes straight into the center torso and crits it, along with the right leg. This is enough to just kill the commando outright, and the poor little scout mech takes it to the grave. Far off to the distance, the Jicata, or Evil Eye, seeing his friends just get taken out, decides to open up with its ER large laser along with medium laser. The medium laser misses, but the ER large laser is able to smack into the left arm of the Atlas and do 8 damage. Concluding their exchange of fire, the Bushwhacker also then uses its remaining arm that it hadn't fired anything from to punch the Spider straight in the face, doing 6 damage into the center torso and causing enough damage for the Spider to have to roll and see if it can stand up. Unfortunately, the pilot just has taken too many hits, and the poor little Spider just gets knocked to the ground, taking another 3 damage into the right arm. And with mechs either downed or completely destroyed, turn 10 ends up being just an absolute apocalypse for both sides. Rolling off for turn 11, now with only 2 turns left to go. First, we're going to roll for the Free Worlds League. Free Worlds League rolls a 6. Rolling for Lyran Commonwealth. Commonwealth roll an 8. So Free Worlds League moves first. Before movement begins for turn 11, both the Spider and the Awesome fail to get up and still stay remaining on the ground, completely left vulnerable for both the Bushwhacker and the Atlas to continue to rain hell on them. In response, and seeing both of its teammates down, the Marauder decides to make a sacrifice and turn right onto the Atlas, hoping to save his friend the Awesome from getting annihilated. 1, 2, 3. turning and moving on a 3 to get in position to better fire on the Atlas. In response to this, the Atlas only moves 3 as well. 1, 2, 3. Getting into a better position to just continue to rain hell on the Awesome, as well as fire into the Marauder if anything comes its way. Following the positioning of his co-lance mate, the Marauder, Evil Eye is only going to be moving 1 while holding the high ground, hoping to stay at arm's length away from the Atlas while still raining shots down, and hopefully saving his teammate, the Awesome, from just getting annihilated. And finally, to end off turn 11 movement, the Bushwhacker is going to move 5. 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ending off right there on a walking movement to fire both onto the Spider that's still on the ground, as well as give suppressing fire from above at the Marauder, and hopefully take some heat off the Atlas from just getting completely roasted. Starting off the combat phase for turn 11, Jakata, or Evil Eye, opens up onto the Atlas with its medium lasers and its ER large laser. One of the medium lasers misses, but the ER large laser and one other medium laser land right into the right leg of the Atlas, doing a total of 12 damage to it. That damage to the right leg, however, is not enough to halt the Atlas, who decides, instead of just finishing off the Awesome, to turn its frustration and anger for losing 2 of its lance mates into the Marauder, using its autocannon 20 and 4 medium lasers to just blast it to oblivion, doing 15 damage with the medium laser, and also getting a 20 damage hit point right into the Marauder's head, completely killing the pilot instantaneously, and sending the Marauder down instead of the Awesome this turn. Holy shit. Do not mess with the freaking Atlas. Jesus. Seeing his fellow squad mate finally managing to get a kill, the Bushwhacker, not wanting to be left out and wanting to avenge his friends, decides to just open up into the down Spider and fires with its medium pulse lasers, machine guns, and auto 10. Everything hits, and the Spider, at long last, runs out of luck and just gets obliterated off the field. And on the literal flip of a coin, or pure luck, or dice, or whatever you want to call it, it's literally been turned upside down as the Free Worlds League is just on the ground, either wrecked or being wrecked by the Commonwealth. And with that brings an end to turn 11, and I really don't know. I think the Free Worlds League is done. Alright, 12th and final round. I honestly would rather just give this to the Lyran Commonwealth. I don't think the Free Worlds League's got a chance now. But you know what? Forget it. Let's just go through this final round. Let's see if they've got it in them. Starting off with the Lyran Commonwealth first. They get a 10. Rolling for the Free Worlds League. Let's see if they've got luck with them. They also get a 10. No, wait. They get an 11. Okay, so it's the Commonwealth moving first this turn. Before movement phase officially begins, the Awesome makes another attempt to stand up, this time successfully standing up, giving up 2 movement to stand, and will run 3, 4, 5, ending up right there. Or, you know what? He can't move yet. He just stood. He's standing, but he has used up 2 movement. Having seen the Awesome stand back up, the Atlas will begin movement phase actually right off the bat by moving 3. 1, 2, 3. Actually, he's going to move 5. 4. Or 4. You know what? He'll move 4. Dang it. Last turn and my brain's already going to mush. He'll move 4 and just block off any escape that the Awesome or Evil Eye have in trying to escape the valley that way. And he'll also have just open rain if they try to move anywhere else. Now, seeing that the Atlas is right there and can just open up into him if he doesn't move, Evil Eye is going to fly for... How much does he have to fly so he doesn't get hit? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. 5, 6. Yeah, he's just going to move 6. There we go. He's going to move 6. Stay out of the range of the Atlas and just continue to be an absolute pest. And, actually, yeah, he might be able to take down the Atlas if he gets a few more shots off like that. I mean, he's going to overheat, but screw it. It's the last round. Yeah, you know what? He's going to do that. And seeing pretty much as his line of sight's completely off, the Bushwhacker is just going to move and try and fire at Evil Eye. So he's just going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Right there. I mean, he may not be able to get anything off, but at least he can give some cover to his Atlas friend. I mean, it's better than just sitting and doing nothing. And the Awesome, who's already used 2 movement points standing up. You know what? He's going to run. He's going to run for 3. So, well, that's all he can really run anyway. So, 1, 2, 3. You know what? He's going to just do that. He's going to do that with his remaining movement points and just fire into the Atlas. I mean, there's nothing really left to do but just duke it out. Let's see where this goes. Beginning the 12th and final round of combat, the Atlas goes straight into the Awesome with its autocannon, its 4 medium lasers, and its SRM-6. Its SRM-6 completely misses along with half of its medium lasers and the autocannon, but it is able to land 10 damage worth from its 2 hit on medium lasers into the center torso and into the right torso of the Awesome. The Cicada, meanwhile, opens up with its ER large laser and its 2 medium lasers. It misses with its ER large laser, but is able to hit with 1 medium laser into the Atlas, going right into the left arm and critting and taking out the shoulder. From his vantage point, the Bushwhacker, seeing the Cicada open up, decides to fire its own salvo of its 3 LRMs and its 2 medium pulse lasers and its 1 autocannon. It misses with its autocannon, but is able to land with its LRMs and 1 medium large laser, doing 3 damage into the right arm, 5 damage into the left torso, and 6 damage into the right leg of the Cicada, blowing the right leg of the Cicada clear off. It's also able to crit on the left torso, but nothing comes of it. However, the Cicada is now completely left with nothing but its 1 good leg to stand on. Finally, with nothing left to lose, the Awesome decides to take its chance and just fire with its remaining 2 PPCs and its small laser. It misses with its small laser, but both PPCs just land directly into the Atlas's center torso and right arm. It does 20 damage and leaves the Atlas to literally just stand there and take it. However, the Atlas pilot is somehow able to just keep standing despite everything that was thrown at him. And that ends turn 12. And with that, the final round is over. I really don't know where to go with this now. I mean, all things considered, the way I see it, even if going into another round or 2, I don't think the Free Worlds League is going to be able to pull this out. I mean, the Cicada, oh god, have I been naming that the wrong way? Anyways, with 1 leg, he's not going anywhere. And the Atlas is just going to turn around and blast it next round. So, And the Awesome is not going to be able to stand up against both the Atlas and the Bushwhacker, so... You know what? This is a last man standing match, and I'm going to count standing by the number of legs you have. And in accordance to those rules, Lyran Commonwealth have 4 legs, Free Worlds has 3. So, yeah. As much as I don't want to give them the victory, you know what? I'm going to give it to the Lyran Commonwealth. There. To anyone who's bitter about what I said about the Lyran Commonwealth, there you go. The Lyrans win.
So, taking into consideration the entirety of this battle, it's pretty safe to say the Commonwealth has this victory. While it did suffer losses, losing the Commando as well as that 1 in a million shot that obliterated the Zeus, the Free Worlds League also lost its Marauder as well as its Spider. And looking at who's left on the field, the Cicada is in no shape to carry on for another scrap, even if the rounds kept going forward. I mean, it's literally standing on one leg right now. Meanwhile, both the Atlas and Bushwhacker, while suffering damage, are still fully functional and can keep going in to both the Cicada and really just team up and finish off the Awesome if it comes down to it. With all that in mind, I'm going to give today's Battle Report victory to the Lyran Commonwealth. It turns out, sometimes might does make right. Well, that and having a giant honkin' Atlas to do all your freaking work. Anyways, thank you all so much for listening to this episode of Battletech Battle Reports. I'll see you all next time. Until then, Mech Warriors, Frozen Front out.